The morning sun barely peeks over the jagged peaks of the Afghan mountains, casting golden light over a quiet village nestled in their shadows. The air is crisp, carrying the faint smell of wood smoke that hints at the day's work already underway. Stones stacked high form the modest homes of the village, their walls weathered by the wind. Life here is simple yet profoundly connected to the land and the rhythm of the seasons. A shepherd mother emerges from her home, her movements calm yet purposeful. She wears layers of colorful, hand-woven fabrics that shield her from the morning chill, and her headscarf, tied tightly, speaks of both tradition and practicality. Her hands, roughened by years of labor, carry a bundle of dried brush to feed the small fire she's prepared. These hands tell a story of resilience, of a life molded by the unforgiving beauty of this land. Her family is still stirring awake, but her day has already begun. The faint bleating of sheep echoes from the nearby pastures, mingling with the distant hum of the wind. The mother tends to her tasks in silence, a harmony born of necessity and routine. The mountains provide, but not without effort. The dried brush she carries as fuel, carefully gathered over weeks to ensure there's enough to last the cold months. Every twig is a testament to survival. Nearby, other women of the village are also hard at work. Some kneel by streams, rinsing utensils, while others sift through baskets of freshly milled flour. There's no rush, only an unspoken rhythm that guides each step. The shepherd mother moves to her cooking station, nothing more than a flat stone hearth surrounded by a wall of piled rocks to guard against the wind. Her tools are simple: a large flat pan, a small wooden paddle, and a clay jar filled with water. Each item bears the marks of years of use, just like her hands. She kneels on the ground, her posture steady as she begins to knead dough. The flour is soft, slightly coarse from being ground between stones, and it mixes easily with water from the village well. Her movements are deliberate, practiced. The dough takes shape beneath her fingers, smooth and pliable, ready to become the flatbreads her family depends on. The fire crackles as she feeds it with dried branches, the smoke curling into the air before being carried off by the mountain breeze. She presses the dough into thin, even discs, placing them carefully on the heated pan. The scent of cooking bread soon fills the air, a comforting aroma that speaks of nourishment and care. Her focus never wavers, even as she glances up now and then to check on the flame. As the bread cooks, the mother takes a brief moment to stretch her hands. Her gaze sweeps across the village, where children are beginning to play, their laughter breaking the stillness. There is a sense of balance here, a fragile yet enduring connection between people and their environment. The shepherd mother knows this life is hard, but it is also fulfilling in ways few could understand. Every loaf she makes, every chore she completes, is a piece of that fragile equilibrium, a testament to the enduring spirit of the mountains and the people who call them home. The dough rests for only a moment before she lifts it with careful hands, laying it gently on the hot surface of the pan. The fire beneath dances eagerly, licking at the edges of the flatbread. A faint sizzling sound escapes as the dough begins to cook, its color shifting slowly to golden brown. The mother crouches low, watching intently, her every motion precise and deliberate. She flips the bread with the wooden paddle, revealing the beautifully charred patterns forming on the surface. Nearby, her clay jar holds milk freshly collected from the sheep. It sits untouched for now, its coolness contrasting with the heat of the fire. The bread will be served with this milk, along with a handful of herbs she has gathered earlier. These simple ingredients are a lifeline, a testament to the self-sufficiency of a people who have learned to thrive with what the mountains provide. There is no luxury here, only necessity, shaped into something nourishing and timeless. As the bread continues to cook, she adds a few dried shrubs to the fire, coaxing it to maintain the perfect intensity. The smoke carries a distinct earthy aroma, filling the small space where she works. Her focus is unwavering, each loaf requiring her undivided attention. She reaches for another disk of dough, her fingers still coated in flour, and lays it on the pan alongside the first. The process is repetitive but never mindless. Each piece is a craft, shaped by her experience and her connection to this ancient practice. Her children approach, drawn by the smell of fresh bread. Their voices are soft, filled with anticipation, but they wait patiently. She smiles faintly, her hands never pausing. The bread is nearly ready, and the time to share it will soon come. This moment, though simple, is sacred. It is a bridge between her labor and the nourishment it brings to her family. In this act, she carries a legacy of countless mothers before her, a lineage bound by fire and sustenance. The bread is lifted from the pan, steam rising as it meets the cool morning air. She stacks the golden rounds on a stone platter, wrapping them gently in a cloth to keep them warm. Each loaf is soft yet firm, perfectly browned and infused with the smoky essence of the fire. The simplicity of the meal belies the effort it takes to create it, but she doesn't dwell on this. For her, this is life, straightforward, cyclical, and deeply rooted in care. The milk is poured into small clay bowls, and the children settle close to her, eager but respectful. She tears a piece of bread and dips it into the milk, handing it to the youngest first. The child's face lights up with satisfaction, and the sight brings a rare, quiet joy to the mother. She watches as they eat, their hunger gradually replaced by contentment. Her own meal will come last, but she doesn't mind. Her role is to provide, to ensure that her family is sustained and cared for. As the fire begins to die down, she takes a moment to clean her tools, wiping the pan and stacking the remaining dough for the next batch. The bread is never made in excess, just enough to satisfy the family's needs for the day. Waste is a luxury this life cannot afford. Every crumb, every drop of milk is valued, part of a delicate balance they must maintain to survive in this unforgiving yet beautiful environment. Her gaze shifts to the horizon, where the mountains stretch endlessly, their peaks shrouded in mist. They are both a challenge and a source of solace, their permanence grounding her in the rhythm of her days. The simplicity of this life, the quiet dignity of her work, and the love she pours into every task bind her to this place. The bread she makes is more than food. It is a symbol of perseverance, of connection, and of the enduring spirit that sustains her family and community.